Hey everyone, Mike here. Thanks for coming back. What I'd like to do is I'd like to put the musical alphabet that was talked about in the last lesson onto some actual practical theory on the guitar itself. What I'm showing you here is a fretboard diagram. There's a really nice program out there called Neck Diagrams. If you're ever interested, I recommend picking up a copy of it. But that's not really necessary. For this lesson, I'm also attaching the PDF files for this, so you can just download them and print them off or read them or whatever you do. Use them as a reference. So if you remember from last time, as we discussed, and please go back to the previous lesson if you're not sure what I'm talking about here. These are all the notes on a 24 fret guitar. This actually simulates a 24 fret guitar, I should say. And this is also a 6-string guitar, as you can see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's in standard tuning, meaning that each of the open strings are tuned to what we call concert A, which I believe is 440 hertz. That this string is actually vibrating 440 times per second between this point and whatever it's attached to down at the bridge, and everything else is tuned relative to it. And if you remember the note names of all the open notes, if you're changing out your strings quite frequently, or you're tuning your guitar, which I hope you are, on a pretty consistent basis, like every time you play, like I do, you should be able to name these notes relatively quickly, basically because you're looking at a tuner when you're tuning your guitar, and you're going to see E, A, D, G, B, E popping up quite frequently. So if we look at this diagram, as if you take your guitar, you lay it flat in your lap, and you're looking straight down on it. The E here is E, which is this note, and this is the high E here, which is this note right here. Now, if we remember our musical alphabet lesson from before, you could pretty much name every note on the fretboard if you remember where you're starting at, right, and where you're ending, which is up here, which is basically you're going through 2 octaves. Here's the first octave, here's the second octave, and down here we're starting on E. If you remember, E to F is a half step, and B to C is a half step. Everything else is a whole step in between. I'm also mapping out this diagram as flats, and there's another one as sharps, but for this lesson I'll just go ahead and map out everything as flats, and we'll go through your fretboard visualization, which I think this is very important, because when we go to the next lesson, I want to talk about the major scale, and not only the major scale, all its modes, and then from that we can talk about harmonization and how chords are developed. So this might be a little bit backwards from where a lot of, I think, guitar instructors or students learn, where they learn some chords first and they learn some songs. I'm going to teach it the other way around, where you're going to learn the notes on the fretboard, you're going to learn the major scale and the modes of the major scale, and then once you know that, you'll be able to instantly recognize and be able to recreate any chord that's major or minor or diminished, 7th chord, dominant 7th chord, 9th chord, just by knowing all the notes on the fretboard. It's really that easy. So let's go ahead and get started. So what I'd like you to do is, I'd like you to take this diagram here, download it, and I would like you to be able to instantly, be able to name every single note on the fretboard. So if we decided to, you decided what, you know, which I think you should do is, again, take this, download it, hang it up somewhere, you know, on your screen, and walk through every note on your fretboard. You know, if you don't have a 24 fret guitar, that's fine. You can go up to here if it's a 22 or a 21, or whatever, right? And name all the notes on every string, and go back and forward on every string and name them all, right? And that'll be, you know, following up in a minute. I'll do that next. Thanks. Okay, so now that you've got your handy dandy fretboard diagram, the quickest way to start your fretboard visualization is to go ahead and just start naming the notes. So start here, that's E, F, G flat, G, A flat, A, B flat, B, C, D flat, D, E flat, and then E, and name them just like that, right? And then I can go to the next, you know, registers on the fretboard. E, F, G flat, G, right? A flat, A, B flat, B, C, D flat, D. Now this is a 22 fret guitar. If I had 24 frets, I would probably go up to, you know, E flat and then E of the next two frets, but this guitar doesn't have it. But that's okay. That doesn't matter, as long as you know, you can go up here and back pretty quickly without a whole lot of trouble. Then it's not too hard to go from here in the second octave, from the first octave up to the second octave, working between the first and second octave here. Similarly, I can go down too, right? So this might be a little bit, you know, harder, but, you know, again, work on this. So I'm going from D, right? D flat, C, B, B flat, A flat, G, G flat, F, E, because A, E, and F, there's a half step, E flat, D, D flat, C, B, B flat, A flat, G, G flat, F, and then E. Yeah, if you work on this 5-10 minutes a day, just part of your warm-up, then it should go fairly quickly. And what I'd like you to do for the next for your homework, if you decide to take the challenge, is to do this on every single string on your guitar, and not only go up and down in flats, but go up and down in sharps too. So let's say we were working on this string, the high E, right? We go E, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, and then D. And then go back down, right? So you'd be here, D, C sharp, C, B, A sharp, A, G sharp, G, F sharp, F, E, D sharp, D, C sharp, C, B, A sharp, A, G sharp, G, F sharp, F, and then back to E. So that's all I really got. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.